Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast where law meets luxury. I'm Anjana, an associate director from Dubai Sotheby's Real Estate. I advise ultra high net worth clients on their real estate requirements and the developers in Dubai.
My name is Lindsay. I'm a senior real estate lawyer with Al Tamimi and Company. I've been practicing as a real estate lawyer for over 15 years. I'm not that old, I promise. I am dual qualified in Australia and the UK, and have practiced in the UK, Australia, and now have the privilege of working in the Middle East. Today we're going to talk about off-plan investments and the legal considerations in relation to these investments. Now, off-plan investments are purchases which take place prior to completion, often at values which are lower than the market value once completion has taken place. It's an interesting area which people always ask us questions on, so we're really looking forward to exploring the issues here. Angela, do tell me, are we still seeing a huge surge in off-plan projects in Dubai?
Yes, there is a surge in off-plan projects in Dubai, and mainly because of the demand, not only locally, we also have demand from international buyers, especially with the kind of exciting projects that developers are introducing nowadays, like we discussed in our previous broadcast, brands like Four Seasons, Baccarat, Aman Residencies. They're just, they've been attracted to Dubai because
they're big names. They're very big
names. Absolutely correct. And also the cash flow. The developers are managing the cash flow of the buyers here. They don't have to pay everything upfront when you buy an off-plan projects. So you pay initial deposit amount, which is generally 5 to 10%, and then you have installments of 10%, and at the end you pay rest of the 40%. By the time the property is ready, when you're paying your remaining big chunk, you can also get the mortgage here on the off plan. So I think we have always attracted the buyers and international buyers, and always had high demand of off-plan projects, and we continue to do so.
Exciting. Dubai is an exciting place to be.
Oh yeah, another point, it is very important. And we are getting fueled by 2040 government vision, where now they're aiming to grow 7.5 million of population of Dubai. So, and this vision, Dubai Vision, we have witnessed, I'm sure yourself has also witnessed, any communities like Dubai Hills are huge. It's like a city in itself. I remember when it was started to develop, I'm like, who's going to come and live in it?
Really? Now we shop there.
Yeah, and it's huge now. Like those properties are selling with so much premium already. So their vision is clear. They're going to have population increased up to 7. Right now we are at 3.5 million, but we'll be 7.5, and imagine there's still so much scope. And the best part I see, like we go to a lot of events, right? The right kind of buyers, like really professionals like bankers and the wealthy family offices are getting attracted towards Dubai. So many new family offices have opened. So that's always the first step. You see the wealth. First, the family office sets up, right? Then the big people come, and then they bring the entire ecosystem with it. So definitely the demand is not going down in Dubai.
Exciting times to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Lindsay, buyers or even as an end user, we always have this concern, like if I buy an off-plan property, my money, I might not get, is it safe, or I won't lose my money, or will I get the handover on time? I won't be too old, buy today and my children are living in it. So yeah, these are my concerns. So in the legal perspective, like what are the regulations, for purchasers? How do the buyers and us, you get protected and off-plan especially?
So in my view, purchasing in Dubai off-plan is a very safe environment. There are numerous laws, regulations, policies that have been put in place over the years designed to for buyers to be protected when they enter off-plan projects. In my view, it's even better than many of the jurisdictions that I've worked in. One of the key protections in Dubai is that developers, they need to register with RERA, which is the Real Estate Regulatory Agency. It's a mouthful, but RERA will continue saying. So the developers have to actually register with RERA. Yeah. It gives a certain amount of legitimacy and comfort to buyers to know that these developers have been approved by RERA before they can commence their work.
Will they own the land before they launch the project? Like, are there any laws or
Yeah, so there's two ways that it can be done. So either the developer is the owner, so their name is on the title deed, they own the land.
Okay.
The alternative is that a different person owns the land, but enters a development contract with the developer, and that is registered with RERA.
Okay.
And then that developer then has control of the land to develop it in line with the approved plans.
Yeah.
So there's that protection, which goes on neatly to the, not only is the developer registered with RERA, also the project.
Okay.
So you can have comfort that the actual project's been approved and it's registered with RERA. So all the details of the plans, the timelines, they're all with RERA if anyone wants to check.
So basically, there is an owner or the developer, they own the land. It's not like a loan from the bank or something.
No. So nothing.
So the land is protected.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So that's one of the things that you want to check on, which you need to check who the owner is, who the developer is. Now, the other protections are there, which you touched on, I think is always the big question is, where's my money going? I want to make sure that it's somewhere secure.
Yes.
Now, we have the escrow system here. So when you have an off-plan project and a buyer wishes to purchase a unit, the money that they pay goes into an escrow account. Now, the escrow account has to be an approved bank escrow account, approved by RERA. Then all proceeds from the sale of any off-plan units go into the escrow account. Okay. And then the developer can only use those funds as approved and as approved by RERA as certain construction milestones are reached. So your money's safe there. And added to that, I call it the 20% rule. There's a 20% rule. So they cannot proceed to sell off plan until either there's a bank guarantee for 20% of the construction value of the project, or you deposit 20% of the value in an escrow account, or you've commenced already and you've completed 20% of the construction. So it means there's that pocket of secure money there, or you've got to a certain stage in development before you start selling off plan.
So the 20% is always there.
Yeah, so you got it before
the
you can
developer
start
cannot
selling.
use.
The developer cannot sell to anyone off plan until this 20% is there. So it means there's a pocket of money, there's security that they're financially sound before they proceed.
So that 20% cushion, developer cannot use that money at all. He has to keep it in that escrow
so it stays in
all
the escrow.
time.
And then at the end, so the 20% has to be there before they sell. And then at the end, so once completion's happened, 5% of the value of the escrow account has to remain for up to 12 months. So your buyer will move in, and that money, 5%, is still sitting in the escrow account should there be any issues. So there's a number of protections now in Dubai to secure money, to make people feel comfortable, to ensure that everyone's registered and approved. Yeah, it's very important.
But there has been instances where the developers have, like, I don't want to name them.
They've been bad.
Yeah, they've been naughty or bad. Yeah. So I think the government have taken the right actions in Dubai, and the common man has never got affected here. That's what.
Yeah, it's much better than it has been over the years. And I think that was one of the fears for people investing. I'm going to lose my money. They're going to start building, they're going to get halfway through and something's going to go wrong. Now that's part of why the escrow account's there, so the money's secure. And also, if that does happen, RERA has a special committee. So if you have a project that's cancelled or there's a default, then the buyer can go to RERA and say, oh, hold up, there's an issue here. We've paid our money and they've stopped. They've not met their timelines and things have gone wrong. And then RERA will take it on board to find a solution. Now, it may be that RERA decide to put in a substitute developer or you get some money back. It depends. It depends on how far the project's gone and the overall picture.
Yeah, and these issues only come with the new developers, with the top developers in Dubai that we work with.
Yeah, they're secure. You'd be quite
like,
trusted. Yeah,
yeah, H&H, Emaar, like we work with Miras. So
there's a lot of new developers, and as you say, there's a lot of established developers. So even with the new ones, these protections are there to give people that comfort. And I would say we've got very established laws, as I said, so it is good.
And you know, that's the best part, like when you work with a strong real estate firm, like you asked me in my last question. So it just relates. So we have a team, like obviously we always tell our clients to hire a lawyer as well, like always but we have our in-house team. We make sure the project is registered, so we have our checklist, like a complete due diligence. Otherwise, as Dubai Sotheby's reality, we don't take on projects. Our due diligence checklist is also very, very strong. So we make sure the projects to register, the land, the title deed, like you mentioned, it should be on the client's name. and then the escrow account is there. And we also check the track record of the developer. What are the previous projects they have done? What were the timelines? Were the projects were delayed? We will not take them on board.
It's important for your reputation, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So we like sorted. So that is what you get when you work with a luxury developer or a brand like Dubai Sotheby's or a brand like Tamimi, who has been here in the market like from decades, and we are still serving our client where client comes first for both of us.
And we enjoy what we do.
Yeah,
and I think touching on the legal side is in terms of the sale and purchase agreement. So the actual procedure for purchasing here is quite simple. So you have to start with the finance, work out what you can afford, go and look, make sure you can get the bank finance. As I think you touched on in terms of mortgages, you can get mortgage, my understanding, on off-plan, but it's much more restrictive. You're not going to get the high loan-to-value ratios, and it's not as easy to get a mortgage with the off-plan. And then your next stage is do the due diligence on the property, check who owns it, check the project, make sure it fits with what you need it to do. So you'll find some projects in Dubai where people buy an apartment and then they realize, okay, there's a restriction. I can't rent it out for an Airbnb. I can't use it for the investment reasons that I wanted to. So you have to do the due diligence. And then the next step, which I'm not sure everyone is aware of, lots of developers ask you to complete a reservation agreement. And you're going to have to pay a deposit. So when you find a unit that you like, you go along and you say, okay, I'm really interested.
5%.
It can be, I've seen as high as 15 recently, but you fill in the form and that's you committing. So you want to do your finance research, you want to do your due diligence before then. And then you hit the legal staff and you look at the sale and purchase agreement, which is super important. You want to check the handover payments, you want to check the warranties, you want to check the indemnities. What's going to happen if it goes wrong? Am I protected in the contract? And that's where your lawyer steps in, reviews it, makes sure you're protected and that you're comfortable in case things do go wrong.
Like here we're sitting in Four Seasons, right? So it comes fully furnished, even the art pieces and decor. So that's where you need a lawyer. So these things will be part of the SPA. So they need to come and check and make sure everything is perfect.
You get what you're paying for.
You get every
ornament that you wanted.
Exactly what you see or what you've seen in the contract. So that's why, and there are always more professional companies, right, who comes and do this list.
So you do a snagging list. You can get a snagging list at the end.
That's the right word.
So so once you do the SPA, you get to have the pre-handover payments. Once you finish your payments, project's complete, then you have handover. Now normally then someone will go with the buyer through the property, check everything's in order. With any property that's just been built, there will be things. There will be things, a little crack here perhaps or something along these lines. Then you prepare the snagging list.
So that's also we have to come to our lawyers, right?
Well, the lawyer can help you, or you just go to the developer, should do that as part of the process. So you inspect the house, make sure it's fine, and then you form the snagging list. In terms of the SPA, there'll be a period within the sale and purchase agreement by which you have to report any issues and a period by which the developer has to fix them. So it's very important when you go in there to highlight any issues.
We generally advise our clients, buyers, it's branded residencies and everything, but you should hire professionals, even for the snagging list, because you would not know, because they come and they check everything, like they come and they bring their socket board and
make sure
everything is working fine. So I mean, there is always,
I would just walk in and go, this looks very nice, my furniture's there.
Exactly, same with lawyers, right? So the contract, the look of it looks nice, but then you realize
different ways of looking at things.
Absolutely.
And then once you get to the exciting part where it's finished and they hand over, then that's when you get the proper title deed. So when you pay your first installment and you sign up, then your interest in the property is on the Akud register. So it's an interim property register. So your interest is registered with the DLD. And then once the last payment has been made and the property is complete, then you get a title deed, your standard title deed. Say, okay, the property is complete, we've paid, you can have full ownership. So and that's important.
Sorry, so us again, so when do we get Akud?
So Akud, when you sign up and you make your first payment and you sign the SPA, then they should be registered with RERA. So any purchase agreements for off-plan units are registered with the RERA as soon as they're executed by both parties, to make sure there's a record of that interest in that transaction. And that transaction seen as fully complete. Once the property is complete, hand over and you've finished your payments. But nowadays I have seen some developers where they do have post-handover payment plans. So you'll pay a certain amount, say 80% up to completion, and then it stays on the interim register, and till you complete your payments. So you can move in and you may still have 2 installments afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's only once you've finished paying that you'll get the title deed back.
So basically, Okud is a pre-title deed.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
That's
exactly.
in a nutshell,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
the home is in your name the moment you pay your first installment, but pre-title, but you still have to
It's
pay.
like a pre-title,
Yeah,
yes.
pre-title.
And then you got to finish your payments. No one's going to give you it until you finish your payments officially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So we've discussed there how we get to the end, how the person gets the keys, they get their title deed. And what do Sotheby's do afterwards? I suppose you want to maintain these relationships.
Yeah, in the entire process, actually, we just become like family. There are phone calls, Zoom meetings, personal meetings, client visit. We meet their family, like we meet the whole family, the mom, the dad, grandparents, children. We just become like so connected. It feels like once the deal is done, I feel a little bit of separation at that time. You know, it just hits you. But later on, we definitely maintain the relationship. They become our priority clients. Of course, they get all the news about pre-launches, what's coming up in the Dubai market, what are the inside news in the within Dubai Sotheby's, who are the buyers coming in and
New
what are
brands, anyone else?
exactly anything else coming in. So it's then becomes a
relationship
long-term,
maintains,
yeah, long-term relationship. You're just part of their family functions as well sometimes.
That's nice. That's
celebrating all the festivals together, and we continue the relationship from there on. Yes.
Well, it's been fun chatting again. So we've really enjoyed doing this podcast where we've touched on off-plan and some of the legal considerations. If anyone does have any further questions, I'm sure both of us would be happy to connect.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lindsay. It's really happy to be part of it, and there is a lot that we do and we serve our clients, but we never get a chance to talk about it. I think we just took this initiative with my friend.
Yeah,
and really enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah.